Oh, my friends, we got some awesome film updates to jump in today. If you're ready to see Nintendo PR blunders, strap in, kiddos. It's going to be a fun ride. Let's do it.
Ready, start!
Hey, what up, family? Welcome back to the channel. So, man, today I get on social media 2 articles that is not looking good for Nintendo. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, if you are a keycard defender, you're about to eat a huge, massive crow. This article popped up saying, Nintendo Switch 2 game keycards not eligible for preservation by Japan's National Diet Library. It goes on to say, the National Diet Library says the games released in Nintendo Switch 2 game keycards will not be eligible for preservation. Source, Famitsu. The NDL is one of the largest libraries in the world, and it's also Japan's only legal deposit library. It mandates domestic publishers to submit copies of all new publications for collection and preservation purposes. When asked about Switch 2 game keycards, NDL representative says that only physical media that contains the content itself is considered eligible for preservation. Since a keycard on its own does not qualify as content, it falls outside of our scope for collection and preservation. Oh! Keycard defenders, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? I can't see you! Keycard defenders! Oh, keycard defenders, you're gonna have to eat a big, huge crow. This is what I've been saying, and so many people have been saying from the get-go, is that keycards are unnecessary. They're a product for no one. And you can sit there and say, well, you can sell them, you can trade them, you can do that with real physical games. Stop it. Like, if you still defend keycards after this, then I don't know what to say, man. You are beyond comprehension. Like, there's nothing that nobody could say to you that will wake you up. You want to know what the future for keycards is. Here, let me show you.
Wait, time out. Time in. No! Don't even think about that. Stop it! Get it! That's my
Keycard.
And there you go. That's your future, keycards. You're going to be thrown into a landfill somewhere to totally be forgotten, creating unnecessary e-waste. Japan's largest library is saying no to keycards. You got the gamers and the collectors that don't want them. I don't know, Nintendo. Maybe it wasn't a good idea. You ever thought about that? All jokes aside, people that were defending the keycards, I hope you realize that you're wrong. And take the L, take it humbly, because sometimes we're wrong. Sometimes our opinion will change depending on the circumstances. And right now, keycards are a bad investment on Nintendo's part. And they're quickly realizing that, I think. And I think the tide of keycards is going to shift. You're going to see them fall off. They're going to be nothing but like a joke or a meme in the future. That's my hope and prayer, because if Nintendo still churns out keycards after this news article, I don't know what to say to Nintendo. They're crazy. But moving on, that's not the only article we got about Nintendo today. This article comes from Nintendo Life, and it says, former PlayStation head praises Nintendo for being in touch with their fan base. Woo! Those are some bold words, especially right now. Sean Layden, formerly the president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment America, has come out in praise of Nintendo for being the most in touch with its fan base. Shunny boy! Woo! You know that saying, you should be seen, not heard? No, these execs or former execs should not be seen or heard, because every time they open their mouth, vomit comes out. Right? Just bleh. I read this and I was like, Are you for real? Are you kidding me right now? Are you secretly working for Nintendo? Is that what's going on here? Let's just read what our good friends at Does It Play had to say about this article. Highest physical sale percent, yet still allow code in a box on top of key cards and only offering insanely expensive 64GB cards. In addition, dev support is completely overwhelmed and dev kits to make test Switch 2 builds are less common than dodos on this planet. Get a grip, we'd say. Ooh. That is just, woo, Does It Play. You hit hard on that one. And when they were talking about devs that still don't have dev kits, they're exactly right, because, oh, look, I said there was 2 articles, there's 3. Insider Gaming posted an article that says that many developers still don't have Nintendo Switch 2 dev kits. Article goes on to say that Digital Foundry talked about Switch 2 dev kits to a number of developers, including some AAA studios. It seems to be almost discouraging Switch 2 development to some degree, where I've spoken to plenty of developers where they were either told that they should just ship it on Switch 1 and rely on backwards compatibility. There's a lot of developers that are unable to get Switch 2 dev kits. We've talked to a lot of devs at Gamescom this year, and so many of them said the same thing. It's like a dictatorship. They're not letting certain developers have it. Maybe they don't want to have all the indie games on there, but clearly it even says that AAA studios are not getting to have the dev kits. So that's wild, man. Like, they're acting high and mighty and saying your peasant game isn't worthy enough to be on our glorious Switch 2 platform. Be gone, knave. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I wouldn't even want my game on your platform. I'm so disgusted with the Switch 2 and the way that you've handled it. When a national library in Japan, the same country that Nintendo originates, doesn't want anything to do with your garbage key cards, why would I want my game on your platform when it's a toxic environment? Now, earlier we heard what Does It Play had to say about the article where Sean Layden was praising Nintendo for being in touch with their fan base. Let's read what I had to say. Nintendo has never been more out of touch with fans. Key cards, $80 games, raising price on 8-year-old hardware, expensive 64GB cartridges, lots of devs don't have dev kits, terms of service that says they can brick your console, lawsuits over games they feel threatened by like Pal World. And there's probably tons more that I didn't say in a single tweet because I ran out of space. My friends, Nintendo is a mess. It really is. And as much as I love them for the joy that they have brought me over the years since I was a kid, all of these articles coming out the same day is a PR disaster for them. And I can't imagine they're sitting there in their ivory towers just going, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I feel like somebody's gonna get fired over some of this. Like, this is why you don't listen to investors. You don't listen to these people that are so out of touch with what gamers in the community really want. And I know there's still going to be people that defend Nintendo. Like, maybe they're a content creator. Maybe they're on Nintendo's dime. Maybe they got some investments in Nintendo. They don't want to lose their perks and their benefits, so they're going to just act like none of this stuff matters. But it does matter. How much news has to come out about the shoddy state of Nintendo do you need before you finally realize that Nintendo is not doing that great? And you know what? This is what we get for demanding specs and performance for a more powerful hardware. I was one of those people that wanted to wait for the Switch 2, that cried for the Switch 2 because I wanted better performance. And in that moment, I did not realize what I was asking, but my friend Zoo, he told me, you don't want that. And I was like, come on, man, you're just being negative, right? Switch 2 launches, and then what has it been? It's been out, what, 3, going on 4 months, and it's just been bad thing after another. And I'm sorry, I don't care how many games they get that might be fun. You can't ignore all the bad things that are going on. And these articles don't do them any favor. So, my friends, I will always tell you to vote with your wallet. I will always tell you to go seek the truth and find out for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. I'll have the link down to the articles so you can go read these and educate yourself. Vote with your wallet. truly look at what you're supporting and what you're buying into when you pay for these things, because these companies are taking advantage of us now. The days of kind of giving them slack and go, well, it's Nintendo. I mean, they still make that Mario game that I like, are over. We can't do that anymore. We can't make excuses for these corporations anymore. We have to take a stand. It's so important that we vote with our wallets now more than ever, because video game industry is collapsing in on itself. And I think I'm going to pivot to PC. I'm going to enjoy what I have in my collection, but the future of buying consoles for me is most likely over. I don't see Nintendo putting the genie back in the bottle. It doesn't mean that Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo can't course correct, but the chances of that happening are very, very slim. Why? Because greed and money rules them. And greed and money is the source of all evil. So are they really going to give up money and greed so they can just make us happy, the consumers happy, which is what their mission was in the beginning, and they lost it somewhere along the way? I don't think they will. I don't think they will. Things can improve and get better, of course, but going back to what it was before, I don't know, my friends. I don't know. All right, thanks so much for watching, everybody. God bless you. Stay safe. Have a wonderful week. Remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I. Bye, everyone.
Game over now. 9, 8, 7.